The danger with a red drive is you let the battery die on you. When the battery dies, it will destroy everything recorded. It won't damage the drive, but it will destroy your footage. Because it's like when you computer crash the software doesn't update the disk structure when the battery dies, and it gets lost. It can't read the files. So don't ever let a red camera die with a dead battery, because you'll damage whatever's recorded on that media. Very nasty. I'll show you in a minute how to check for that. Successfully reformatted. Okay, there we are. We're back. We've got our 3 histograms. We've got our viewfinder all nicely set. We've got 48th of a second exposure. We've got RAW being recorded, 800 ISO speed, 24 frames a second, all set for nice standard feature film photography. Okay, now we'll just show you the buttons that I was dealing with. Here we have the joystick, this little guy here. The joystick moves up and down, left and right, and you can actually grab it and turn it. To go up in the menu, you push it up. To go down into a menu, you push down. To go left and right along a menu, you push it that way or that way. When you've got one of the boxes with a parameter that you want to adjust, you twist it. Very easy. That's the system button for the system menu. That's the sensor button for the sensor menu. That's the video button for the video menu. That big red button there is record. That big button underneath there is power, to power down the camera. Up here we have the buttons to play the previously recorded clip. On camera you can play back in the monitor by using these buttons, just like on a video tape recorder. You know, previous shot, next shot, play, stop, all the usual stuff. Here it says power 54. That means that battery is down to 54% of charge. Operator, when that gets to about 10%, you put your hand up and you say change battery. You then power down the camera, put a new battery on. Because when that goes too low, that camera's going to die and you'll lose the data. If you're recording, you'll lose the data. So you never want the camera to die mid-shot. Red batteries will tell you this number. Another make of battery will not, because they don't have the connections for it. So that's why we prefer red batteries, because that will count down. It's now gone down to 53. So we're gradually losing power. It also tells us things like the ISO, color temperature, how many frames a second, our time code, and our shutter speed. So that's 24 frames a second, 48th of a second exposure. That camera's properly set. When I push record, the red tally light will light here and on the front of the camera, so that you'll know, everyone knows that the camera is actually recording. And that really is the introduction to the red. Okay, on the side of the camera, I just want to point out button 2 here. If you push button 2, on the monitor you get the expanded focus. We zoom in to the central part of the display. You can set a really critical focus. To get out, push button 2 again. Don't push button 1 by mistake, because you'll do an automatic white balance and it will screw up your colour on your screen. Won't destroy the recording, but it'll do an automatic white balance. Button 2 is your expand focus. Very useful button. Apart from that, here is where you plug in the memory cards, if you're using memory cards, as opposed to a hard drive. You cannot use memory cards and a hard drive at the same time. One or the other, not both. And here is where you put your little tiny memory card, only cost a few pence, to record your camera settings if you're using this, you know, in a multi-camera shoot, or you want to take those settings away and not have to do it every time, which can take you half an hour. And that is the red camera. Any questions? Many more things to look at in the red, but that will do for now, because we want to get on with some photography. So, thank you.